Dave Testa is Dave Testa. Steadfast is Steadfast. It's a little bit confusing because Steadfast, his real name is David, if I'm not mistaken. So people call him Dave. But that is not the same Dave as Dave Testa. Steadfast, he does cast KSL from time to time, but he is not he's not by any means like in the works behind it. He isn't the person behind the event. That's Dave Testa instead. So two different Daves. Two different Daves. Aye. Shaking my head. But here we go. We're getting into our next series, into our semifinals, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Hardland, we have our red Protoss player representing Dragon Kai Z Gaming. Again, the best Protoss in the entire world. It is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the ex-military Protoss. Currently teamless, deserving to be on a team though. It is Stats. Here we go. Stats versus herO. We are here, we are live, and we're ready for some more PvP action to determine who makes it onto the grand finals. Which Protoss will it be? Again, herO is traditionally our KSL champion. I think herO, he has won this weekly tournament more than any other player. So, you know, it's usually like, can anyone stop herO from winning? Can anyone stop herO from becoming our champion? We're here to find out. It is up to Stats to step up. Meanwhile, herO going to be hiding that first probe. Interesting. We do have our 2-gate setup back at home. It's going to be a 2-gate opener at a herO, 2-gate opener at a Stats. herO making use of this probe, keeping it hidden, and we do hide the first pylon. Okay, bold move. The pylon has been hidden. Now the probe scout of Stats is coming in. He is slipping into the main base, and he will confirm, hold up, that pylon is missing. The pylon is not where it should be. Where exactly is it? We can see it's in the middle of the map, but Stats, when he does check, he should be scouting the edges of the map instead. So just a very cheeky position here for herO to throw it down. We do see herO opening up double Zealot, and I believe he's going to be proxying a Robo. Stargate, okay, not a Robo, it's going to be a proxy Stargate. herO, he's going to be committing at least a little bit with this. Proxy Stargate usually leads into Oracles. Nothing else. We do see him canceling the Zealot, starting up the Stalker, cancel the other Zealot, starts up another Stalker as well. Very cheeky move here out of herO, making it look like he was making units initially when he wasn't. Hiding his proxy. Hiding his build. And back at home, Stats is just trying to get a read of what's going on. And he's scouting. You can see him check. He has one probe towards the north. He has one probe towards the south. Stats, he's desperately looking for that proxy. And he is reading it all in. He's going for a Robo. Okay, so this is a very strong reaction out of Stats. He's going for a third gateway and a Robo. Very big reaction here from our blue Protoss as he does come across the proxy. He does find it. And Stats, he's going for his own one base all in. Now herO is going to be able to force back these Stalkers, at least initially. He does shoot first. Oh! Yeah, he does shoot first. Does trade a little bit more efficiently there. Forcing back the army. Even forces the recall. Stats, he will escape with that one Stalker. And again, behind this, Robo and a Gateway. Meanwhile, herO, he reads this so well, going for his own Robo. Aye. So, I mean, he got scattered. Stats, he got scattered. herO is going to be confirming with the Oracle. Does get eyes on the Robo. So, herO, he's fully aware of the one base all in. And how do we respond? Robo into Immortal production. Shield batteries on the way. herO, he is ready to receive. And Stats, can he pull this off? Can he succeed like he did against Parting? Can he break the defenses of herO? And can herO succeed where Parting failed? As we are going to be making a Phoenix back at home, it's a really good way to help deal with that Prism. It's a really good way to just make use of this tech as well, because Oracles can't really help. Yeah, Stats, he has arrived. Phoenix will make it out, but we will depower this Stargate. And back at home, Immortal production. First one, it's already halfway done. It's halfway done at this point. We have very little to defend. Second shield battery starts up already. So a much faster second shield battery compared to what Parting had. Stalkers are pushing in. 11 Stalkers for Stats. Does focus down the shield battery. Barely does help. And Stats, can he break through? But the shield battery is being forced back. That one Phoenix putting in a lot of work. The Prism. The prism's getting low. We have to save it. Ooh, and we barely will. The prism barely does escape. The Immortal chasing this all the way back here. herO being very bold. And you can see him just punish those Stalkers. The Immortal shuts them down. herO gonna back up. Gonna retreat. Shield battery is up. And he still keeps that Oracle alive. He's checking across the map and he does get eyes on the expansion. Ooh, stats. He's not feeling confident. He doesn't believe he can pull off this one base all in, so he's going to be expanding instead. And herO sees. On top of that stats, he has the Observer, so he can see the rotation of herO's army. Likewise, herO getting ready in his main as well. As we are stepping in, we're going for the Force Field. We're looking to Force Field the ramp. And there it is. Can we dive on top of that Prism? It looks like we barely cannot. It does survive. We go for the Immortal. And the Immortal is targeted down. But the Prism falls. And that's a bigger pick-off. That is a bigger pick-off. We managed to get a couple of probes in the natural. But the Stalkers are falling. They try to go for the War Prism as well. Instead, they have to settle for some probes. Yeah, and stats, he's being cleaned up. Does have a slight worker lead, but he lost so much here in this fight. Lost so much in the process. Back at home, he's trying to rebuild his Immortal count. And herO, he's counterattacking. He's pushing out immediately. herO, he's slightly behind in workers. That's the downside here, is that stats has been able to recover and take an economic lead. Oh, the stasis. Oh, does he see? Does he notice? herO, he's trying to bait him in. Doesn't take the bait. Prism taking a lot of hits. Oh, and it does get targeted down. Big pick off. Yeah, we dive on the army. herO, the Immortal, taking a lot of damage as well. It looks like the Immortal will fall. herO taking a rough fight here. Stasis Trap catches some of those Stalkers. Doesn't get the Immortal though. And can herO focus that Immortal down? It's exposed. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. Can he get it? Up. It's so close. A couple more hits. Uno más. He gets it. Oh my. The shield. The shield keeps it alive, but no, it will fall. Ooh, big loss there for stats. He almost kept it alive. That was so close. That shield survived another hit. Stats, he will bleed out his Immortal, but he still maintains his army lead. 5 Stalkers, but herO, what does he have instead? He has a higher Immortal count. Very close game. Both players have an even drone count. They have 30 probes to 32 now for stats. So a slight lead for our blue Protoss. Meanwhile, herO, he does have the Immortal lead instead. So herO, he's up 1 Immortal, is pushing. And then with 2 gateways. Suddenly there's 2 gateways to reinforce. Can herO catch stats off guard? Stats, his shield battery isn't done, by the way, and he's a bit out of position. He's splitting up his units. Stalkers in the main, but we need them in the natural. Yeah, we dive on the Immortal. And it is going to be focused down. Big pick off by herO. Stats, now his army rotates over, but the damage was done. We snipe the Immortal. Boys, we're pulled. The Immortals are getting low, though. Very low. So far, herO, he keeps them alive. Good juggling out of our red Protoss. And again, stats, he never remade his War Prism. Never remade it. herO, risky maneuver. Getting into the main. Gets a sentry. At the same time, Say busts into the main base of herO. herO had a worker lead because he forced the boys to be pulled earlier, but he's going to be losing 5 probes in the main. Oh, my apologies. I assumed that the Prism wasn't remade. It was remade, but it was harassing across the map. No, we left it alone! No! A little bit late to unsiege. Prism falls. Not like this. And stats is his answer here is to go into Glaives. He's going for an all-in. He throws down 2 more gateways. It's going to be a 2-base all-in here out of stats. Glaives doesn't really have too much longevity here in this game. We're just going to be doubling down on Mass Adept. It can do quite well when it comes to tanking Immortal shots. And it's also very maneuverable as well, as you can shade on top of the army or shade past the army into a mineral line. So there is a lot of potential with Mass Glaive Adept. But herO is pushing, and he has a much more robust main army. herO going for his own glaives as well. Let's go. Great minds think alike. Ooh, herO pushing into a concave. Not going to work out well for him. He does shade into the main. Gonna get a couple of probes. Did I say a couple? 5 probes go down. Pretty good damage dealt here by herO. Gets 5 workers. herO, he backs up with his main army. Is going to be retreating. Even shading into the natural. Can he get another probe? Can he get one more? Oh, barely not. But herO, he has an economic lead. All he has to do is survive. All he has to do is survive the counterattack. But it's quite a counterattack. 16 adepts. That's a lot of adepts. Let's go. Against 4 immortals. Now 5. Jesus, 5 immortals here for herO. And here we go. We're shading on top of the army. We're going to try to focus out as many immortals as we can. We go for the Twilight Council. But Glaives finishes just in time. Overcharge is popped. Good concave. Good position for herO. Boys are being pulled. He can afford to lose some. Oh, we're shading into the main. We do commit. Probes are falling. The main army, they're going to be chasing down the army of stats. Gets a sentry. Adepts are keeping up. Again, Glaives helping so much in the Adept v Adept. He defends. He moves out. He's down to 4 immortals. Up. So far is able to barely keep some of them alive. We're going for the prism. And we do manage to get 1 immortal down, but here comes the reinforcements. herO leads out another immortal, but the adepts, they come out on top. They break through. We're shading across the map. What do we have at home to defend? Shield battery and overcharge, a handful of adepts as well. You can see herO trying to bypass that shield battery. He's going for it. Goes to the army. Where's the overcharge? Not here. We need more energy. Shield battery is going to be going down. GG gets called. herO snowballs out of control. He breaks through the natural just barely, and herO takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Bappy. A very chaotic game, very back and forth. Both players had their moments in this game, is what I will say. Both players did have their moments, but herO, he was able to catch out and be a little bit more efficient overall. Whether it was herO juggling and maintaining his immortals, was able to make use of his prism, barely finish up glaives, and was even able to catch stats out of position a couple of times as well. With that GG, herO does come out on top, but that was, again, a very chaotic game. It was very chaotic. Could definitely see stats taking that one as well. Again, I'm hoping for an ace match. I'm hoping for a game 3, but the pressure is now on stats. Here we go as we're getting into game número 2 on Oceanborn. And here we go. We're getting in. We are going to be loading into our next game. Catching up. Stats had some amazing results in GSL. Yeah, again, like stats. Post IEM, I don't know what it was, but maybe IEM motivated stats, but he has been improving quite a lot over the past couple of months. So it's been great to see his progression here, but he's still up against the best Protoss in the world. Can he fight back? Can our Protoss player here advance on to the grand finals? So spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have our South Korean Protoss representing DragonKy Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss, currently teamless, deserving to be on a team. The returning ex-military Protoss, it is Stats. I love PvPs with adepts. It's very chaotic. It's very intense. Can be a lot of fun. Hello, Spats. Hello. Good morning, Pappy. Good morning. Hope you've been doing well. Hope you've been doing well. To wish you the best in your upcoming matches, whether it's in the upcoming season of WTL for Berserker or in EPT, in the EPT weeklies. Best of luck. Here we go. We do have once again a 2-gate opener out of stats. Likewise, double gate opener out of herO. This time it looks like herO will not be hiding that pylon, as the initial probe has gone across the map to scout. So we'll just keep our eyes on our opposing players here. Stats not going to be skirting around and hiding his pylon. He's going straight for the scout. There it is. Second pylon has been thrown down, so there is no initial proxy this time from either one of our players. No mind games either. Again, in game one, as a reminder to wind us back, herO did kind of fake out a proxy, faked out a cheese, went for an oracle opener instead. Was a bit of a fake proxy pylon in a way. I mean, committed with it, but it wasn't an all-in. With this, we're getting to our first students of choice. It's going to be double adept out of herO. It's going to be double stalker out of stats. Okay, so it's going to be on herO to try to bypass the stalkers of stats to somehow get around them, and get some damage done, and hopefully keep stats busy back at home. We'll see how hard herO commits. We have seen just double adept into stalker, or we've seen double adept into 4, 6, even 8 adepts. You can just double down and commit. We can see that it's only going to be 2 adepts. Probe gets hunted down. As the probe gets zoned away, we throw down our tech of choice. We're going for a delayed expansion into a Stargate first for some oracles. So herO is going to be the aggressor. He's going to be looking to get some economic damage done, as his natural is going to be delayed. Stats, it's going to be on him to defend. Ooh, as he also goes for a Stargate. Okay. Interesting. Now, herO, he does scout the Stargate opener. Do we go Phoenix? herO, he knows about the Stargate of his opponent, so we could opt to go Phoenixes instead. We'll see. We shall see. For now, Adepts, they do end up trading here with the Stalker. Shield battery is barely not done, by the way. Do we get the Stalker? We do not. The Stalker does survive, and it is going to be the Oracle first. Okay, it's going to be Oracle first out of herO. Meanwhile, Stats, he still is unaware of what's going on. Hallucination will get across the map. And it's going to be the Oracle first out of Stats as well, as Stats has not seen the Stargate. He doesn't know. Doesn't have the information. herO does. Because of that, herO, he should be preparing in his own mineral lines. He should be getting ready for the eventual Oracle. Hallucination does scout the Oracle of herO. Is aware. So both players scout each other. Depths once again going to be threatening that shade. Oracle is moving out, is spotted by the Adepts. Oh, actually gonna distract the Oracle as well. Getting a couple of free shots in. Just a little bit of hull damage there. herO gonna be chasing the Oracle of Stats. And what do we have at home to defend? We have 2 Stalkers in the natural. Gonna be recalling back into the main. And the Oracle doesn't find any damage. But neither does herO. His own Oracle hasn't really dealt much either. Behind this, we're transitioning into a Twilight Council into Blink. Both players working towards Blink. You can see Stats also in position to defend against the Oracle. He's also split up his forces. So very similar setups here from both players. Very similar setups. As we're just going to be chilling, calming things down. You can see herO preparing for his third, and he will be the first to expand. Takes his third base. Stats only a couple of seconds behind him. So pretty comparable third base timings. And both players, they are keeping up with each other quite well. herO is slightly ahead in worker production, but only slightly, by like a couple of seconds. The game is going to be settling down after a very intense game 1. Like, game 1 was very intense. We had a 1 base all-in. We had a proxy Stargate. There was a lot happening in game 1. Here, we're just calming things down, easing into game number 2, settling on 3 bases, working towards our forgers for +1 for upgrades. And soon we'll see if if either player deviates and heads into something like faster charge, they double down on Mass Blink Stalker, if anyone goes for a robo into Immortal production. See if anyone does decide to spice things up. As additional gateways are on the way. You can see both our players should be just scouting each other with these hallucinations. And we get eyes on the gateways. We get eyes on the lack of additional tech. And the herO does start up charge. Okay, so never mind. I was gonna say we're gonna have a gateway heavy composition out of herO with charge lots and stalkers, but no, we're going for DTs instead. Meanwhile, thankfully for stats, we have a robo. We have a robo. So herO, when he scouted earlier, he saw the lack of robo, so maybe he was hoping that the robo would be delayed a little bit further and that he could get away with these Dark Templar. As we can see, that's not going to be the case. We will have access to detection, but the thing about PvP, even if you have one, even if you have two observers, typically your observers are out on the map. They're not at home to defend, so Dark Templar, they can still pop off. Even with detection out on the map, they can still get a surprising amount of damage. So we'll see if stats can keep up. There is a safety cannon in the natural. No other cannon. Oh, sorry. There's a safety cannon in the main base as well. So stats being very safe and very secure. Likewise, herO also has cannons on the way. He himself making sure that DTs don't wreak havoc either. And I guess the most important thing from here is the fact that herO did not restart charge. He didn't actually get back into charge. He's just committing with pure Blink Stalker. Meanwhile, Stats is refining his army, getting into charge lots. The initial Dark Templar waddling across the map. Again, this third base is a little bit exposed, so maybe we can take advantage of that. Oh! Observer is sniped. Good moment there from Stats. Does get the Observer. Dancing with the main army. Blink is on the way for herO, so he's doubling down and committing with those ETs, and we do see them split up. But there's a cannon at the natural, no cannon at the third. Probes are going down as DTs. They one-shot. The shield battery does nothing. And you can see Stats turn everything around. He's racing back home. DT also harassing in the main. And we get 6 probe kills. Not just 6 probes, but we also force the army back home. With that, herO, he has some breathing room. Despite the fact that he's down in army supply. He does have some time to himself here to build up his Immortals. As you can see here, Immortals are on the way. Also, because he's invested into the Dark Shrine, he can invest into Archons. He can morph in his Dark Templar into Archons that will and can help against all these Zealots. He does actually go for that Warp in. Behind this, Stats is pushing. Again, still up in army supply. Oh, but the stasis! Up! Big stasis on the Zealots! A very nice catch. herO caught on the map. Turns back around. We'll get a couple of these Zealots as well. Ooh. Has to be careful not to be caught out, though. herO pulling back to the rocks. Is going to bleed out a couple of Stalkers. Good catch there by Stats. Stasis is about to run out. herO pulling back. Taking defensive position here with shield batteries, with his own Immortal production, now getting in towards charge. It's halfway done. Meanwhile, Stats going for a second Robo and what looks to be Disruptor production. The Bay is on the way. Disruptors on the horizon here for Stats. Just refining his army. Getting into a better composition. I mean, Disruptors are high risk, high reward. Like, they can really pop up, or you can kind of blunder those shots as well. It's all about the control here of Stats, all about the army positioning, all about the movement. As the armies do dance with each other, herO going for a big DT counterattack. Blink is done. We dive on top of one of those cannons, but there's a second cannon available. If you force a recall, Stats he will hold. But again, he forced a recall. And now herO, he can collapse on this army. Yes, Stats, he's stuck here with only like a half, or if not a third of his force. Yeah, Stalkers are going down. Big loss here for Stats. Caught with his pants down. Stasis runs out. We catch even more Stalkers. And again, that recall from Stats did give herO that opportunity. He caught a bunch of units behind this. We have some reinforcements on the way. Disruptors have arrived. How many Novas? 2. We have 2 Disruptors, 2 Novas available. Oh god, Jesus. My apologies. I just like slammed my mouse into the laptop. But here we go, the armies are going to be clashing. So far we're holding onto those Novas, we haven't spent them yet. Here we go, Nova goes off. Ooh, does get focused down. Decent split there, 3 Stalkers do fall, and a couple of Zealots, but these have been less than ideal. The Nova's not good enough. herO reinforcing, he heads for that 4th base, he cuts Stats off. Oh, the Prism falls. You snipe the Prism. Stall Blink there, avoids the Nova. And we dive on top of the army, and herO is snowballing out of control. He just collapses on this Disruptor. They don't even matter, not anymore. Decent connection towards the end. But we're focusing down every single Disruptor. And Stats, he's been broken. GG gets called. herO takes the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Things were pretty back and forth there for Stats and herO, and initially it felt like the DTs weren't really doing too much, but what they did accomplish 2 times in that game was force back the army. It forced Stats to turn back around, despite the fact that Stats had an army lead, he had a supply lead. He wasn't able to really make use of that. It was forced back home time and time again. And especially towards the end there, things snowballed very quickly out of control. When herO forced that final recall, meanwhile Stats accidentally or intentionally did leave some units behind, and they were caught out. Left behind some Zealots, some Stalkers, they were caught out. Some big losses there for Stats, and herO immediately pushed from there. Immediately did counterattack. GG. With that, herO advances on, and Stats is eliminated. And we are getting ready for our second semifinals. As we get ready for it, a big shout out to Sort of in the chat. Oh, Bappy. A big shout out to Sort of. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. It's been great seeing you return to StarCraft as of late, relatively recently, and you've been on that grind set. We've noticed, Bappy. We've noticed. Hope you've been doing well. I think you're still in Korea. I know you went back to Korea for a while. I'm not sure if you're still there or back in Europe. Regardless, hope you had a great time. And welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Korean StarCraft League. Welcome to the KSL. And just to be transparent, you can see it's there in the title. But this is a replay cast. The KSL was live a couple of hours ago. And currently, I'm not in Australia. I'm currently in Poland. So I think it was like at 4 or 5 a.m. CET. So I was asleep. I woke up a couple of hours later. So these games are a couple of hours old, and we're back here going over the replays, going over the tournament. We just wrapped up the quarterfinals. We just wrapped up our first semifinals, and now we are here with our second semifinals. Let's go. Dark versus Creator coming up next.